After the glitz and glamour of the banquet, we follow Queen Alicia back to her private chambers. But something is deeply wrong. Even though she only drank a moderate amount, an unnatural exhaustion is washing over her. Alicia has been working tirelessly lately, purging the academy and preparing for the kingdom's seasonal floods. But her ruler's intuition tells her that the real danger is lurking at the borders. The neighboring state, 𝐆𝐫𝐞𝐚𝐭, is making bizarre moves. 𝐾𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐭 is massing his troops not in the north, where the borders meet, but in the south, a wilderness so rugged it's practically impossible for an army to cross. Why gather soldiers where nature is your biggest enemy? The queen tries to solve this political puzzle, but time is no longer on her side. Suddenly, a lightning-fast headache strikes Alicia. Normally, her body, honed by years of training and filled with mana, would have instantly neutralized any trace of alcohol. But now, her heart is racing out of control, her pulse is erratic, and every breath feels like a luxury she can no longer afford. My mana, I need to circulate it to neutralize the... She thinks desperately, but her body refuses to obey. Collapsing toward the floor, the cold truth hits her. She's been poisoned. But how? Every bite of food and every drop of wine at the banquet was obsessively checked by tasters and guards. Someone found a way past the strictest security in the kingdom, and Alicia can feel her life slipping away in the very heart of her own palace. Alicia forces herself up. Every step feels like walking through broken glass, but she has to reach the royal doctor. She's suffocating, her heart is hammering against her ribs, and the world is spinning out of control. The door swings open. A figure stands there, calm, steady, and familiar. It's 𝐃𝐬𝐭𝐞. Thank goodness. Alicia gasps, reaching out for his hand, her only lifeline in this nightmare. You're here. Help me. But as she grabs his arm, 𝐃𝐬𝐭𝐞 doesn't pull her up. He looks down at her with cold, dead eyes and draws his sword. It's already dripping with fresh blood. Your Majesty is right, he whispers. Thank goodness I am here. Let me help you rest in peace. The shock hits harder than the poison. Why is his blade stained? Why is the man sworn to protect her now holding the sword to her throat? Back at the banquet, Lloyd isn't waiting for the dessert. He grabs Javier and tells him they need to move now. They sprint out, leaving the confused guest behind. Lloyd asks Javier if he wants to know why they're running like their lives depend on it. But Javier doesn't need an explanation. He's already felt it. A strange, oppressive mana force radiating from the palace halls. What I need to do, Javier asks. Lloyd drops the most insane order yet. Knock out the sword master. Javier nearly trips. Are you joking? Okay, fine. New plan. Lloyd correct himself. Just buy me time. At least 2 minutes. Javier grabs a massive metal candelabra off the wall to use as a makeshift weapon. I can give you 3 minutes, he says, his face dead serious. That's enough, Lloyd replies. But as they reach the final corridor, the air turns ice cold. Lloyd and Javier stop dead in their tracks. The hallway isn't just empty, it's a slaughterhouse. Freshly mutilated bodies of the royal guards are strewn everywhere. 𝐃𝐬𝐭𝐞 didn't just walk to the queen's room. He carved a path through everyone in his way. Back into Queen's chambers, the air is thick with the scent of blood. 𝐃𝐬𝐭𝐞 isn't holding back. He launches a lethal strike to end Alicia's suffering. Somehow, through the haze of the poison, the queen manages to block it. Magnificent, Your Majesty, 𝐾𝐬 whispers, his voice devoid of emotion. A lethal dose of poison, yet you've blocked 3 of my strikes. He doesn't wait for an answer. He delivers a brutal kick to her stomach, sending her crashing to the floor. He raises his sword for the final blow, but just as he's about to strike, a blur of silver and gold crashes into the room. Javier is here, swinging that massive metal candlestick like a warhammer. 𝐾𝐬𝐭𝐞 narrowly dodges, his focus finally shifting away from the queen. 𝐾𝐬𝐭𝐞 counters with a strike powerful enough to cleave a horse in half, but Javier blocks it. 𝐾𝐬𝐭𝐞 is stunned. He blocked my sword with a candlestick. What in the world? He looks closer and realizes Javier isn't just swinging metal. This sword is vibrating with a high-frequency mana circle collision. It's a technique 𝐾𝐬𝐭𝐞 has never seen, a way to turn a common object into an unbreakable weapon. Javier doesn't stop there. He launches a relentless assault, forcing the legendary sword master onto the defensive. Javier is fighting for his life, and every second he buys is written in sweat and blood. While Javier keeps the monster busy, Lloyd slides across the floor to the queen's side. Alicia looks up, dazed and confused. What are you doing here? She gasps. Lloyd doesn't have time for royal etiquette. He literally puts his hand over her mouth. Save the chit-chat for later, he snaps. He places his hand on her stomach and closes his eyes. He's a doctor, but he knows the Azrahan core technique. Specifically, he's focusing on mana absorption. If the poison is carried by her mana, then Lloyd is going to act like a high-powered vacuum. He begins to manually rip the corrupted mana out of her body, taking the poison into himself. It's a reckless, suicidal gamble, but it's the only way to keep the queen alive. The games are over. 𝐄𝐬𝐭 is visibly irritated that a kid with a piece of furniture is still standing. He decides to end this instantly by activating a legendary technique, the Aura Sword. His blade ignites with a jagged purple aura, a feat only a true sword master can achieve. 𝐵𝐵𝐵's heart sinks. He knows that once that aura fully stabilizes, it's game over. In a desperate move, he hurls the candlestick at 𝐄𝐬𝐿's face to break his concentration. It works. 𝐄𝐬 is forced to parry the flying brass. Interrupting his ritual, 𝐵𝐵𝐵 leaps into the air, catches his makeshift weapon on the rebound, and prepares his most devastating move, Mana Blast. 𝐵𝐵𝐵 pours everything into the strike, but 𝐄𝐬𝐿 is a veteran of 100 wars. I must admit, young man, 𝐄𝐬 says, his voice cold and steady, your mana manipulation is ingenious. However, you lack real-life combat experience. Before 𝐵𝐵𝐵 can release the energy, 𝐄𝐬𝐿's boot slams into his stomach, folding him in half and shattering his momentum. 𝐄𝐬 swings his glowing purple blade down for a finishing blow. 𝐵𝐵𝐵 barely manages to get the candlestick up in time, but this is the end of the line for the world's greatest improvised weapon. With a sickening crack, the Aura Sword shears through the brass like paper, slashing deep into 𝐵𝐵𝐵's chest. Blood sprays across the floor as 𝐵𝐵𝐵 falls back, gravely wounded. While 𝐵𝐵𝐵 bleeds, Lloyd is fighting a different kind of monster. His face is contorted in agony as the corrupted, poisonous mana flows out of the queen and into his own body. Every second is a struggle not to vomit or pass out. He looks over at the falling 𝐵𝐵𝐵 with a desperate gaze. 𝐵𝐵𝐵, I'm counting on you, he screams internally. If you lose, we're all dead. Lloyd is holding the queen's life in his hands, but the man meant to protect them is down, and the traitorous swordmaster is still standing. Will Lloyd's gamble pay off, or has he just absorbed his own death sentence? We'll find out in the next chapter. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see if Lloyd survives the Aura Sword. Leave a comment with RIP Candlestick to pay respects to the bravest piece of decor in history. See you in Chapter 44.